what a gold interview, man. Like,
thanks, man.
and it could have gone any better.
I know I was so nervous beforehand. Thank you for going on and talking me like some sense into me, because I was just babbling for like the whole day. I was nervous, sweating. But
Yeah,
Jimmy Ward came through.
he did come through. I mean, I think he really his candor, I think, really opened himself up to 49ers fans, and I think I tweeted it out, but I think he sold a lot of jerseys that day.
I think so.
I mean, he helped you out financially by being on your channel, but I think he
Yes.
helped himself out financially by just selling some jerseys. And a lot of people like Jimmy Ward, and I think more of those players should go on and like just be yourself. Like, all you got to do is come on and be yourself. Even the guy like if Mike McGlinchey came on and
exactly,
even if like and just laugh at yourself for those flops and stuff like that, how much would that endure to the fans? Like,
oh my God, they'd love him. They would love him.
Right. And here's the thing, in United, I don't know if it's just throughout sports, but I know here in the United States, like, if you just own your ish, like, people forgive you. Like, if Mike McGlinchey just came on and was like, and he didn't come on your show, but he said it in an interview or whatever. He said, basically, I had a bad year and all that. Like, when you start to fight it and you're like, oh, it's still here, that's when like people get on you. But if you just own it, you're like, man, like, I was struggling with weight and like I just, I have really a great year. Then fans will like are fine,
Yeah, to be honest, the reason I started getting on McGlinchey last year wasn't because of his play. It's because he would talk in interviews like he was playing well and was good enough to comment on other people's performance and the direction of the franchise. And it bugged me. I was like, I'm sorry, man. I don't think you've earned this. Even though you're technically a captain, I don't think you've earned this. So that's why I got on him. And now he's actually changed his whole message, and smart move.
Yeah. Even a guy like Armstead, like if he came on and be like, and just did an interview and just was like, yeah, I didn't have a great year statistically, but I'm working and all, and just kind of just owned it. I personally am not as low on some of you guys with Armstead as you guys, but
he kind of falls in that Jimmy Ward category of first round pick who doesn't have a lot of the counting stats in his box score, is a little bit more of a role player, and people use his draft status and money against him. So there has to be a real appreciation of what he does. And with Jimmy Ward, he's making it clear, like, look, I cover really freaking well. That's the stat you need to look at. Yards against me. That's fair. For Eric Armstead, he could come on my show and explain to fans how he should be judged if he wants to come on. I think anyone who's underappreciated should come on my show.
Honestly, I don't think they should have to. I was thinking about this. I don't think a player should have to defend. Like, that's not them to defend themselves. I don't think on their. I mean, Jimmy Ward, I guess, did. He came on and was talking about that, but I think the cool part was just him just being himself. Like, if anyone just came out and being himself, like, Eric Armstead is a really awesome dude. Like, he does all that stuff.
Yeah, he does
for kids. He's an intelligent guy. Like, he gets like, he's an awesome dude. Like, you could from a player perspective, you can't ask for a better play. Like, you want that guy on your team. Like,
yes, you do.
That's the guy you want on your team.
That's true.
And I think he'd be Armstead or McGlinchey. You should come on this show.
It would be a good move for you, and it would also help me. Raymond Martinez Jr. says, should Kyle's candidness allow the players from the team to feel free to be as open and candid? Hope it starts something new. Yeah, I hope so. Because usually, like, when Harbaugh was the coach, it was very clear, like, I'm not talking, you don't talk. And it seemed like with Belichick and a lot of these coaches, like, that's the attitude in the league, is we don't talk. And it sucks. It's not good for the league. I like that some of these players have the license to talk like this.
That's interesting, because it's something that Jimmy Ward actually a little bit touched on, and you have with Ward. It's like, he said, it's entertainment and it's a business. So, like, you're selling a product. It's not only the football, but it's yourself. Like, you're selling
your career.
You're selling yourself. Right? So,
who's the best DB at doing this the last 10 years?
Richard
Sherman. And Jimmy Ward saw it straight up. He's like, I'm a better player than Richard Sherman at this point. He's a little older. I'm better than him. I know it. He knows it. No one else in the world knows it, because Richard Sherman does such a good job of promoting himself, and Jimmy Ward really was late to the party. But now people get it.
Let me ask you a question. who is the best DB all time of doing it, and who maybe is the best player of all time of promoting it. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have to do it a little bit, and I think that Jimmy Ward's getting it. I think
Yeah.
Jaquiski Tartt's getting it. If you're good, say it. Say it. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
And you gotta be, especially as a DB, like you have to be out there and promote yourself, like just or have that level of confidence. If you don't, like, I don't want you as a corner, like, woe is me guy.
Yeah, that was kind of a Keller Witherspoon. I think it'll be interesting if Jimmy Ward, all of a sudden, his rankings like skyrocket this year. Everyone, like Pro Football Focus, like, you know what? After further review, he's a top 5 safety in the NFL.
He's awesome.
Yeah. Him, Budda Baker, Minka Fitzpatrick, Jamal Adams. That's the list.
But the interesting thing I think about the PFF stuff is, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure about this, is they rank your coverage grade based on how you're covering when you're thrown at, not like not if you cover it out. Like, yeah, which is it should be if I'm covering the route,
and I never get targeted, like I did the job great.
That's my job.
Yeah,
that's my job. Like, well, so I'm supposed to leave him open a little bit so he can. I mean, I can break.
I'm supposed to bait him into throws. No.
Yeah.
No.
And I think Ramsey gets targets just because I think Ramsey's covering, outside, covering the top guys and stuff like
without safety help.
Yeah, it's a little bit, and I think it's a little bit of his name. Not that it's not deserved. Like, he's the best corner in football, bar none, and all of that. So yeah, Raymond, I'm with you. I don't think the tension should be that thick. Like, it shouldn't be thick. Like,
well, the difference between Armstead and Ward is that you could tell Ward likes talking to the press. Armstead has never liked to talk to the press. He's always been more the kind of guy like, it's just his attitude. And maybe he's right to not trust the press, but he doesn't. I don't think he's at the point where he would let his hair down like that, metaphorically speaking.
Right, but people have to understand, like, this is your job. Your job is to credit. It's not a personal thing. Your job is to come out here and criticize right. people. And I mean, and another interesting that Jimmy Ward said is he called you an a-hole. It actually, I didn't like.
I was raised by an asshole.
But I didn't like you at first, and what endeared me to you is, like, I saw that you were an a-hole, and I have that in me too. So I'm like, like, this dude's cool. Like,
that's fair. I'll take that from him.
No, I am too, man. Like,
yeah, I definitely. I'll put it this way. I think what it is I play an asshole for a living. Is definitely my persona. But when you get to know me, I'm not an asshole. This is how I do my job. It's how I saw my dad do it. I think it's the way you got to do it, and it's the way that I can make money. But basically, I'm not an asshole. Basically, I'm not. I'm just good at playing one.
I think it's the quick-witted corpse. Like, I feel like you're probably still that way in IRL. Like, I
can be, but I just say it with a smile to try not to offend people. You smile hard enough, people go with it. I don't know.
But cop that Jimmy jersey though.
Oh man, is that the worst purchase you could make in 2021? The red Jimmy jersey right now. I love that the Niners are trying to sell it. It's like one of these like everything must go. Like, come on, just.
I'm gonna hang it up next to my Marquise Lee jersey.
Hell yeah!
That's the combo. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for sending out the Cohn phone the right way. Good to see you, man.